Hi everybody, my name is Eli.
I'm Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden. And we're at the YHWH channel.
And we thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with us. We are on a first day, and it is a Sunday for those of you out there who are keeping the pagan days and systems. And if you're going to church on a Sunday, I will tell you there is no... You may have a lowercase g God in your church, but you do not have Elohim Most High in your church at all. And so today is the 10th month on our Creator's calendar. It is the 15th day on his calendar. It is the first day of the week, Sunday to all of you celebrating the Sunday day. It is the 8th day of January. And before we get going any further, last night we had 12 takedown attempts from the Hallelujah Scriptures. And so I always want to pump this little download section right here because these guys are very active in attempting to get our sites taken down, our channels taken down, and everything because they are trying to stop the word of Yah from going out because they are making a tremendous amount of money and grifting on it. So these books are very, very good books. You guys can get them at Yahuwah and the Torah.net. And there's the free Restored Name Scriptures, the Torah Commands, and a bunch of other books that you can get all right here, absolutely free of charge. Compliments of our Creator. He says he loves you very, very much. And if you would read this as a love letter from him, you guys will understand what the Kingdom Road is all about. So, all right, let's get into today's reading. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Where are we going here? I'm going at the bottom, so I just jacked this up already.
That's not even supposed to... Oh, never mind.
I got this. All right, here we go. What's going on there, Eli?
Last thing we were reading on the site.
Oh, yeah.
We did that yesterday.
It's very confusing, isn't it? It's like we're all over the place in all these different places. Okay, so, and I just jacked this up to begin with. We have our dogs talking like always. Sorry, guys, we have 10 pit bulls, and they talk a lot, and they do a lot of stuff. And I'm completely lost here in this PDF. Okay, here we go into chapter 17. And again, I am sorry that this looks a little clunky because it is a little clunky, but this is what PDFs are about. Okay, so here we go. Chapter 17. Gentlemen, how you doing, by the way? Everyone good?
Good.
Anything going on?
Nothing interesting, I don't think.
Jade, you getting ready to break your fingers today?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does graphic design. Jade, you getting ready to break your back?
Yep.
He does plow design. He's going to design the field with me. Eli, how you doing?
Good.
How's your hand?
Still hurts.
Still hurts. And he has an ear infection now, so we'll get him through this. So we will continue on. Much love to our family out there. Before we begin, we are the family that what, Caden?
That believes the Torah is for all generations, that it is good, that it was not done away with, that we should be keeping it to the best of our abilities in every way possible.
And Jaden, who is our Messiah, and what is it? What's his name, and how did that come to be?
He is the Son of the Creator. His name is Yehoshua. It is salvation. He is the person who died for us so that we have repentance of sins.
Yeah, and did he die for us so that we can sin, or did he die for us so that
He died for us so that we have repentance from sin, so that we have a sacrifice and a way into the kingdom. So we should stop sinning so we don't have to keep using his blood for forgiveness.
Right. Okay, somebody want to give Leo a little bit of water there and shut him up? That would be great. Okay, Leo's our dog, big pit bull. They all are like giant children at some level, and so they act like children and they do what children do. All right, so let's continue on. Here we go. Chapter 17, Wisdom of Solomon. We only have 2 chapters left. It's 18. Three?
17, 18, 19.
Okay, so it's 3 chapters left, so we're 3 days left before we are done with this segment, and it will be another segment down and under the rug, I guess, or down under the river, or down and done.
I don't
even know what the statement was. I've been in third world countries, we don't have those kind of terms. Okay, here we go. For your judgments are great and cannot be expressed. Therefore, beings not instructed have strayed. For when unrighteous men thought to oppress the Kodesh nation, they, being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and shackled in the bonds of a long night, lay exiled from the anticipation of eternity. For while they thought to lie hidden in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being greatly astonished and troubled with visions. For neither could the corner that held them keep them from fear, but noises falling down sounded about them, and mournful visions appeared to them with a heavy presence. Okay, does anyone have any idea what he's saying here? Does anyone want to break this down?
He's saying that these people that were evil, Yahuwah had struck them with forgetfulness, that these people, the people of evil, were struck with forgetfulness. They were struck with things they couldn't know. They were stuck in the dark. They couldn't see. They were confused.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that is anybody that's into evil, that is doing evil things. That's the thing about our Creator is we cannot do evil forever because judgment will come. We cannot be opposed to the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator. And where do we get the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator? Where do we find that, Eli?
In the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy.
Right. And so those are, when we don't have those, we're in a lot of trouble. So let's continue on. No power of fire could give them light, nor could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. Only a very dreadful fire kindled by itself appeared to them. For being greatly afraid, they thought that which they saw to be worse than the sight they did not see. As for the illusions of magic, they were brought to naught, and their boasting in wisdom was reproved with shame. For those who promised to drive away fear and troubles from a sick being were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. Jade, what are we talking about here? What is
So
this?
these people here, everything they did, they got shut down. Like they were doing magic and it didn't work. They thought they were super smart, had wisdom, and they were disgraced from everyone. They just showed that they weren't smart and wise, and they started getting sick, and they started worrying themselves.
Who are we talking about, though, Cade?
People that do evil. Anyone that does evil. I know that is, I think, attacking the people of Yah.
What does he mean by the illusions of magic? They were brought to naught. I think we're talking about a situation here, right?
Yeah, we're talking about magicians. I think they were trying to use magic and it didn't work. Their illusions didn't work.
Yeah, but who? I think are we talking about?
Is this Balaam and his kids?
Balaam and his kids. It could also be. Well, Balaam was also with Pharaoh as well,
yeah,
right?
and his kids were the other sorcerers. Yeah.
Right, and mournful visions appeared to them with a heavy presence. Who would we be talking about here, guys? Who had mournful visions appear to them with heavy presence? And
remember when they were going after was it Elijah? One of the prophets, I think, and he asked God to protect him. He struck him with blindness, and they couldn't find him on the mountain.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what exactly they're talking about, but the illusions of magic. And I wouldn't say that magic is all that of an illusion. It may be an illusion from what reality is, but there is things of magic, and these people, the sorcerers and enchanters, and all these people that do enchantments and things of that nature. It's not just an illusion. There are magicians that do just illusions, but magic is not just an illusion. There is great evil with that, and they will do all sorts of stuff. I won't get into the magic stuff that they do. And their boasting in wisdom was reproved with shame. For those who promised to drive away fear and troubles from a sick being were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. For though no fearsome matter frightened them, you yet being scared of beasts that passed by and hissing of serpents. Okay, who are we talking about? Why do we have beasts here? Why is this chapter hard to figure out?
I don't know. I guess we have to understand who he is talking about here.
Yeah, so we know that there were a couple times in serpents. Hissing of serpents. We know that the snakes got the people in Yisrael. What other times have we dealt with snakes? We know Hasatan came as a serpent. Who do we have?
We have Balaam and his snakes. We have when he was fighting Moshe with the snakes.
Right, and Aaron's rod ate up the magician's snakes. All right, yeah, I don't know exactly this. Okay, they perished from fear, denying that they saw the error which could in no way be avoided. For wickedness condemns by her own witness, is very fearful, and being pressured by conscience always foresees difficulty. All right, so this is something I think we can figure out. It says wickedness condemned by her own witness. Who is her? Are we talking wisdom?
Jezebel.
No, I think
that's after Solomon.
I think the witness here could definitely be the Ruach HaKodesh or the Spirit of Wisdom, right? Condemned by her own witness or by her herself. Anyone that's equal or that's evil, not equal. Anyone that is evil by literally is their own witness to this because they've seen it and they did it. They were there. So whoever it's talking about is very fearful and being pressured by conscience always foresees difficulties. And that's the problem with living outside of the Torah, is that you will have a horrible conscience because you are able to do great evil things, and you wouldn't even know what they are. And so if you have this weird feeling that something's just not right, or there's something more to the religion you have been taught, I will tell you that when you start reading the Torah, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, it will become clear what our Creator wants from us. Okay, 12. For fear is not but a betrayal of the support which reason offers. For fear is not but a betrayal of the support which reason offers, and the expectation from within being lesser, counts the ignorance greater than the cause which brings the torment. But they sleeping the same sleep that night, which was indeed unbearable, and which came upon them out of the imminent depths of Sheol, were on one hand tortured with fearsome visions, and on the other hand fainted, their heart failing them. For a sudden unexpected fear came upon them. So then when whoever fell down there was thus kept, shut up in a prison without iron bars. For whether he were a farmer or a shepherd or a laborer in the field, he was overtaken and endured that unavoidable necessity. For they were all bound with one chain of darkness. All right, let's just talk about that real quick. This is very interesting because there are two kinds of prisons, right? There's the prison that you can see, and there's the prison that you cannot see. There's a prison that people will try to take your mind. And in fact, if you watch television programming, then you are in a prison. If you watch the mainstream media news, essentially, I hate to say it, you are a sheep. And I don't mean that in a completely derogatory way, but you know that sheep just follow anything. It's like a lemming. You will follow anything off of the hill. So whenever this is very interesting, right? Because it talks about this prison, where there is iron bars, and there's one where it's not. And you can live in a prison of guilt. And if you guys live in a prison of guilt, that means you've done something contrary to what the Torah is, or you've done some great evil. And if you do great evil, you will be going contrary to what the Torah says. So that is a prison, the guilt of doing evil and knowing it. It's like the guilt of telling a lie, right? You know it, and then if you find out somebody knows you told the lie, then you're all of a sudden, everyone knows you're a liar. It's a mess. Okay. He was overtaken and endured that unavoidable necessity, for they were all bound with one chain of darkness, whether it were a whistling wind or a melodious noise of birds among the spreading branches, or a pleasant waterfall running forcefully, or a terrible sound of stones thrown down, or a stampeding of beasts that could not be seen, or a roaring voice of the most savage wild beasts, or a rebounding echo from the hollow mountains. These made them to faint for fear, for the whole world shone with radiant light, and none were hindered in their labor. Over them alone was spread a heavy night, an image of that darkness which would afterward receive them, but they were even more grievous unto themselves than the darkness. All right, I can't say that I understood this chapter at all.
No.
Anyone have something on this?
I think it's when you go against Yahuwah, that's what happens to you. He confuses you. He makes you sick. He makes you fear.
Yeah, right. Absolutely fear. And that's one thing that if we are living in the Torah, if we are living in the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator, it's far less of a guilty feeling than when you are eating pork, worshiping on the wrong day, and you just don't know what in the world is wrong. You know something's wrong. You don't feel it. You go to church and everyone gets feeling in the spirit, but there's just something wrong. Well, I'll tell you what's wrong. What's wrong is that the religions of today don't keep the laws, statutes, and commands, and not a single person out there, very few people will actually teach this and say that we need to keep this. And so even though we don't have any idea what this particular chapter was exactly about, what we can glean from this is that living in sin is very evil. Living in it is going to lead to sleepless nights, your body being afflicted with guilt, right? There's no reason to ever live a guilty life, and unless you are guilty, right? And so if you are guilty of breaking the Torah, then you should have that kind of guilt. And so if you don't want this guilt, if you want to be free, then it's all about keeping the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator. And it starts in Genesis and it ends in Deuteronomy. And then the rest of the scriptures are absolutely great. And there's two things in Revelation 14:12 that it says. It says that to be saved, you must keep the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator, and you must have the faith of Messiah Yahushua, who you guys know as Jesus the Christ, but there were no J's in Hebrew. And so I guess that is it for the day. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We are going to get to work, and much love to you guys, and we will see you guys soon, hopefully.
All right, shalom.
Shalom.